Mic check, mic check, mic check. Test, test, test. Mic check, mic check, mic check.
When do you want me to read this Yolo starting lineup?
Wait for the pitcher to come down from the bullpen. Yeah, that's your guy.
Okay.
Once you see him walk into the dugout, you can start showing down and taking some run time. Sit down for a sec and then keep going. And also wait for these guys to stop playing catch. Like what are they doing? Here's enough frequency to get on the same channel as the dugout one. Yeah. I mean, well, I don't know because I thought they were on 8 yesterday. We're on
16.
16.
Yeah.
That's right, Rachel. I think they were on 8 yesterday.
Since they're coming back in, should I do our starting lineup?
Just wait. 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 Hold. 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 Do it.
Now?
Yeah.
Sure, you good?
Yeah,
And
start
now
talking.
the starting lineup for the Yolo High Wheelers. Leading off and playing center field, number 5, Braylon Skinner. Batting second and playing shortstop, number 11, Bobby Leday. Batting third and playing left field, number 31, Tanner Smith. Batting fourth and playing third base, number 18, Sam Kuczynski. Batting fifth and playing first base, number 23, Jose Gonzalez. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 7, Braden Blackford. Batting seventh and playing second base, number 2, Kirkland Banks. Batting eighth and playing right field, number 14, Justin Kirby. And batting ninth and catching, number 35, Angel Mendoza. On the mound for the High Wheelers, right-handed pitcher, number 6, Brandon McPherson.
And a pleasant good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Yolo High Wheelers baseball from Dobbin Stadium in Davis, California. This is Doug Greenwald coming to you live. It is the visiting Jackalopes of Grand Junction and the hometown High Wheelers of Yolo. All right, before we give you the starting lineups, we're going to send it down to the field now for the playing of the national anthem. All right, the national anthem here this afternoon from Dobbins Stadium. All right, let's take a look at the starting lineups first for the visiting Grand Junction Jackalopes, who come in with a record of 1 win and 6 losses for manager Chris Nabashu, who is in his second season at the helm of the Jackalopes. Leading it off and playing center field, Lavoisier Fisher. Andres Rios hits second. He plays second. Drew Sackett hits third, and he's at first base. Batting cleanup, the designated hitter, Matt Turner. Austin Shoemaker does the catching, and he hits fifth. The right fielder is Drew Henderson, or Damian Henderson, and he bats sixth. Batting seventh and playing at third base is Michael Bathauer. Hitting eighth and in left field, and that's Ethan Smith. And batting ninth and playing at shortstop is Jeff Disla. On the mound for the Grand Junction Jackalopes is the right-hander in Frank Reshopo. So again, for Grand Junction and manager Chris Nabashu, it's Fisher, Rios, and Sackett, Turner, Shoemaker, and Henderson, Bathauer, Smith, Disla, and the righty Reshopo on the mound. For the Yolo High Wheelers and manager Billy Horton, Yolo comes in with a 3-2 record. Leading it off and playing center field is Brayland Skinner. Batting second and playing shortstop, Bobby Leday. Tanner Smith's in left field, and he bats third. Hitting cleanup at third base, Sam Kaczynski. Jose Gonzalez is at first base, and he bats fifth. Braden Blackford is the designated hitter, and he bats sixth. Hitting seventh at second base, Kirkland Banks. Justin Kirby's the right fielder, hitting eighth, and Angel Mendoza rounds out the lineup, batting ninth, and he does the catching. And on the mound, making his YOLO debut, the right-hander Brandon McPherson. Skinner, Leday, and Smith. Kaczynski, Gonzalez, Blackford. Banks, Kirby, Mendoza, and McPherson on the mound. Here we go as Brandon McPherson winds, and the first pitch of the ball game to Lavoisier Fisher has popped up foul left side, strike one. No balls and 1 strike to count, and we are underway at 4:34 this afternoon from Davis, 94 degrees, as the pitch is a strike call on the outside corner. No balls and 2 strikes to count, so 4:34 p.m. And again, 94 degrees here at the outset. The 0-2 pitch, and that's outside for McPherson, ball 1. And the count is at 1 ball. And 2 strikes from the Chicago area product, and Brandon McPherson, who kicks and the 1-2, and Fisher swings and taps one foul to the backstop. 1 ball, 2 strikes. McPherson is 23 years old, 6'3", 225 pounds. Mentioned he's from the Chicago area, the western suburbs of Chicago, from North Aurora, Illinois. First base side of the rubber winds, and the pitch. Swing and a miss, high fastball, strike 3. And Fisher is down on strikes to open the ball game, 1 down. So a good start for McPherson in his YOLO career. 4-seam fastball for McPherson. He'll also mix in a curveball, a changeup, and a slider. So now it's Andres Rios who will come to the plate. And the first pitch on the way to Rios, and that's a strike on the inside corner. And the count is at no balls and 1 strike to Andres Rios. We've seen him at second. We've seen him DH, and he bunts this one out in front of the mound. Off the hill, McPherson up with the baseball. Throws from the grass over to Gonzalez at first. And out at first is Rios trying to bunt. So Rios is out, 1-3. And that is the second out quickly here in the visitors' half of the first inning. No score. And Drew Sackett will come to the plate to face McPherson, who played his college baseball at Northern Illinois, which is about an hour west of Chicago. That's in a town called DeKalb, pretty much a college town there. So now it's Sackett, and he takes outside, ball 1. And the count is at 1 ball and no strikes to Sackett, who takes outside for a ball. Let me correct the count. Count here is at 1 ball and 1 strike to Sackett. Bats at 261. And he takes a big swing and a miss, strike two. And the count's at 1-2 to Sackett. So 261. He has 2 homers, and he has 2 runs batted in. So McPherson, again, pitched last year for Billy Horton and in the Pioneer League with Billings. So those two reconnect here. The windup in the 1-2, just off the plate, ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So again, this is McPherson's first ever appearance in a Yolo uniform, as it would be for just about anybody this year. The windup in the 2-2 pitch. Low and in, ball 3, 3-2. McPherson 8 games last year with Billings, 7 as a starter. 3-0 for the Mustangs with a 5.23 earned run average. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to count to the first baseman in Sackett. The windup and the payoff, and that's outside, ball 4. So Sackett is the first player to reach base here this afternoon. Sackett, who has now walked 5 times in this series. So he gets the start at first base today. We saw Sackett yesterday at short. We've seen him, at second base. We've seen him now at first base, making his way around the infield this series. Now it's Turner, homered yesterday. Matt Turner digs in. McPherson sights up offering, hit sharply to second base. That's gobbled up by Kirkland Banks, and he'll take the ball to the second base bag for the unassisted force on the sliding Sackett. 4 unassisted, and a scoreless first, no runs, no hits, no errors, and a runner left after half an inning on this Thursday afternoon from Davis. It is Grand Junction nothing and Yolo coming up. You're listening to the Yolo High Wheelers on YouTube Live. On the mound for the Grand Junction Jackalopes, taking his warm-up tosses right now, is the right-hander Frank Reshopo as we go to the bottom half of the first inning. No score. So coming up this Friday, so it's tomorrow, Finals Friday here at the ballpark. Come on out, 4:30 p.m. first pitch, official Scantron giveaway. And we'll also have an in-game Blue Book prize giveaway to get you ready for Finals Week. Saturday, 4:30 p.m. first pitch, Greek Life Saturday. So come rush with the Yolo High Wheelers while representing your chapter. And also on Saturday, the most passionate fan wins a team-signed Fan of the Night bat. Bottom of the first we go. And Braylon Skinner leads it off in the first pitch from Reshopo. Frank Reshopo misses outside, ball 1. And the count's at 1 and no strikes. Billy Horton is the Yolo manager and third base coach. And coaching over at first base, backup outfielder Kyle Guerra. The windup in the 1-0, and that's down the middle for a strike to Banks. 1-1. And then Sunday, 1:05 first pitch, signature Sunday get here early and a chance to secure autographs from the High Wheeler players. 1-1 pitch up and away, ball 2. And the count's at 2 balls and 1 strike to Skinner hits at 474. No homers, 6 RBIs. The kick in the 2-1. And that's a high chopper to first. Sackett grabs the chest-high hop, and he'll step on first for the unassisted out. And Braylon Skinner is retired. One down. And now Bobby Leday will come to the plate to face Raciopo. Capital Racioppo. Frank Raciopo is from Scottsdale. 5'11", 180 pounds. 25 years old. Kicks and delivers, and Leday takes a strike on the outside corner. No balls and a strike. 350 for Leday through his first 5 games. 7 for his first 20. A homer, 9 RBIs. The 0-1, and that drills Leday in the back. So Leday, who yesterday was hit with a pitch with the bases loaded, yesterday ended up reaching base safely 3 times. And, of course, as most of you know, the grand slam he hit, which capped a 4-hit, 6 RBI game on Tuesday for Leday. So it's now the 8th time in this series, and we're just barely into game number 3, in which Leday has reached base safely. So he is hit with a pitch. He is the first base runner for Yolo. 0-0. Bottom of the first, and now it's Tanner Smith who comes up, batting at 188. Raciopo's pitch from the set. Tapped to second base. Rios up with it. He tags out Leday for 1, and on to Sackett at first for 2. Just like that, double play, 4-3 on the double play. The second baseman Rios to the first baseman Sackett. And that's it in the first. No runs, no hits, no errors. And nobody left after an inning today from Davis here at Dobbins Stadium. No score. Yolo and Grand Junction on YouTube Live. Yeah, I think that I only see Cypro. I mean, it was just something different. Oh, yeah, honestly, that's what it is. I can leave that up to the weekend then too. I mean, if you're good with it. Absolutely. I mean, whatever you want. I mean, I can. As I said, I'll be playing vision in there if you were allowed to. Yeah, whatever idea you have too. I mean, just. Rachel, you know Phil Elson? He broadcast Arkansas Razorbacks baseball.
I didn't work in their athletic department. I was just like an Uber fan.
Oh, what's it?
I'm just an Uber fan.
Oh.
I work in the Southern Miss Athletic Department. Do you know John Cox?
I know he is. He's there a long time. Been there forever. Yeah, know the name. Did you work for Scott Mitchell?
A little bit.
Okay. I know Scott. He's not there anymore, but I know I knew Scott in Santa Clara.
Leading off for the Jackalopes.
On we go to the second inning here this afternoon. 0-0 in Yolo and Grand Junction. Yolo's won the first 2 games of this series. 2 completely different kind of games we've had through the first couple. Austin Shoemaker leads it off, and Brand McPherson out of the windup, and the pitch to Shoemaker shows bunt, looks at a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. So Shoemaker, Henderson, and Bathauer, 5, 6, and 7. Kick in the 0-1 pitch, and that's on the outer half of the plate, 0-2 to Shoemaker. Shumaker as opposed to SHOE, the 0-2, and he goes down for that breaking pitch and comes up empty. Just kind of threw his right arm at the ball, if you will, trying to swing, and didn't reach the baseball. That's second strikeout for McPherson. So 1 away, top of the second inning, no score. And now here is the right fielder and Damian Henderson. And the first pitch from McPherson to Henderson, inside ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. 2:14 for Henderson. He has 1 home run that it was in the series. It was here on Tuesday night. He's got 1 RBI. The kick on the 1-0 pitch, and he lifts this one high and foul left side, and that is strike 1. And the count's at 1 ball and 1 strike, with Bathauer waiting on deck on this sun-filled Thursday. The 1-1 up and away, ball 2. And the count's of 2-1 from McPherson. Mentioned 3 seasons at Northern Illinois University. The career record there of 4-7 for the Huskies. The 2-1 line down the left field side foul. 2-2. So McPherson, you might think, well, being that he pitched in the Pioneer League last year, mentioned 8 games, 7 starts with Billings a season ago, that perhaps he faced Grand Junction. Well, as it turns out, Billings and Grand Junction did not play against each other last year, so this is the first time he has ever faced the Jackalopes. The windup in the 2-2, swing and a foul to the backstop. And the count holds at 2-2 with a game no score, top of the second inning. Yolo and Grand Junction. McPherson winds on the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Breaking pitch there gets Henderson, so he is down on strike swinging. And now that's the third strikeout for McPherson, who wears number 6 on the back of his white jersey, white pants, white shirts, as the High Wheelers are wearing. High Wheelers spelled across the front in black. Black cap with the gold bill, gold number on the back of the shirt. So now it's bath hour, and he looks up and in, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Grand Junction in the royal blue tops, gray pants, white number on the right side of the shirt. In fact, white number on both sides of the shirt. The 1-0 on the way, and that's low in the strike zone. So that is strike. They're going to challenge that. And as it turns out, it was a ball. So instead of 1-1, the count goes now to 2 balls and no strikes. So Grand Junction wins that challenge. The windup with the 2-0. And that's outside ball 3, 3-0. Mentioned Grand Junction in the royal blue tops with the white number on each side of the shirt, and the picture of the face of the jackalope on the left side of the front of the shirt. The 3-0 pitch to Bath Hour, and he looks at a strike on the inside corner. And the count's at 3 balls and 1 strike with the game 0-0, top of the second. Yolo and Grand Junction. The kick on the 3-1, swing and a foul to the screen. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Dobbin Stadium, 310 down the lines, 385 to the gaps, and it's 410 to straightaway center. Roughly a 10-foot wall all the way around. The windup in the 3-2, and that's outside ball 4. Second walk issued by McPherson. And now this extends the inning for the left fielder and Ethan Smith, who did not play last night, but in there this afternoon. I say last night, really yesterday, and all these games are during the day. Ethan Smith bats at 176. He has no homers and 3 runs batted in. Holds the bat up high, grips the bat right on the end, and the pitch. Smith swings and a foul to the backstop, strike 1. No balls and 1 strike to Ethan Smith, wearing white batting gloves. So no balls and 1 strike to count. And the pitch, and that swung on and tapped to shortstop. Leday up with it. Easy underhand toss to the second baseman Banks, and that forces Bath Hour 6-4. And that concludes the top of the second. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a 1-man left. On we go to the bottom half of inning number 2 from Davis this afternoon. It is no score. Yolo and Grand Junction on YouTube Live.
No chance.
No, I'm not going to let those. Now, I know in Australia you guys would just grab them right off the window, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would start.
I mean, I'm just taking the binocular case, and I mean, you guys, you're like people from.
Well, they are big enough to grab you.
We move on to the bottom of the second inning. Nothing. Yolo and Grand Junction. Tomorrow we will play the fourth game of this 6-game series. We'll have it for you at roughly 4:20, 4:25, right around there for the feed on YouTube Live. Sam Kaczynski leads it off, and Frank Reshopo out of the windup, and the pitch to Kaczynski, and he takes outside ball 1-0. It's Kaczynski, Gonzalez, and Blackford to face Reshopo, who faced the minimum in the first inning despite hitting a batter, the 1-0, and that's up and into Kaczynski, ball 2. 2-0. Tomorrow's pitching matchup for Grand Junction, left-hander Brandon Ross, and tomorrow we'll see the Yolo debut of right-hander Sean Gamelin. The 2-0 pitch, and that's a strike on the inner half. And the count's now at 2-1 strike to Kaczynski, who has reached base safely in all 5 games he has played. The windup in the 2-1. And that's low and away, ball 3, 3-1. Kaczynski 8 for his first 16. So an even 500 average, no homers, and 5 runs batted in. 0 for 2 yesterday, but did walk twice and scored a run. The kick in the 3-1, and that's over the head of Kaczynski, and that is ball 4. Catch was still made by the catcher and Shoemaker, but it is ball 4, so Kaczynski has reached base safely in all 6 games in which he has played, and now it's Jose Gonzalez who digs in. He is 4 for his first 10 this year with no homers and 3 RBIs. So Kaczynski, the runner at first base, and Reshopo from the set, and Gonzalez takes outside ball 1. And the count's at 1 and no strikes. Kaczynski's yet to steal a base. The High Wheelers already with 17 steals and 19 tries through just 5 games this year. The 1-0 pitch, and that's taken outside ball 2. And the count's at 2 and no strikes with Blackford on deck. The 2 on the way is up and away, ball 3 from Reshopo. 3 balls and no strikes. Reshopo mentioned originally from the Phoenix area. Second year for him with Grand Junction. He kicks in the 3-0, and that's down the middle, strike 1, 3-1. Last year with the Jackalopes, Reshopo was 3-8 with a 7.58 ERA in 20 games, 16 as a starter. 3 balls, 1 strike. And the pitch, and that's taken on the outer half, strike 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Reshopo played 2 seasons for the Buccaneers of Park Gilbert College in an IA school in the Phoenix region. 3-2. Kaczynski at first. Gonzalez spoils this ball foul down the left field side. 3 balls and 2 strikes with Braden Blackford on deck. 0-0, bottom of the second inning. Yolo and Grand Junction in the outfield straightaway, not terribly deep for Gonzalez. The kick in the 3-2, and Jose hits one foul toward the Yellow first base dugout. And we'll try it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes to the Houston area product, and Jose Gonzalez wears number 23. So Gonzalez has played both first base and left field so far, as Billy Horton told us before the season that Gonzalez would. 3-2 pitch slapped on the grass. That's a foul ball, apparently, that hit the right foot of Gonzalez. So he will try it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Gonzalez 3 RBIs here on Tuesday night, or Tuesday, Tuesday's game. So again, 3 for his first 7 this year for the first year proud of Texas State University, and Jose Gonzalez. So 3 balls and 2 strikes the count. And Kaczynski, the runner at first base, being held on by Sackett. 0-0, bottom of the second inning. As Reshopo looks over his left shoulder, and Kaczynski leads at first, the 3-2, and that's up and away, ball 4. So back-to-back walks to get the bottom of the second inning going for the High Wheelers. And now it's Braden Blackford who comes to the plate. Now Blackford had a minor injury, little tweak of his side that forced him to miss 3 games. Missed the doubleheader here on Sunday and then didn't play in Tuesday's game. Pinch hit yesterday. So this is his first start since the opener back on May 21st, and he takes inside ball one. And the count's at 1 ball and no strikes. Nothing, bottom of the second inning. 2 on, nobody out. And the pitch, and that's a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike to Blackford. Hits at .333, so he's got 2 hits in his first 6 at-bats. So it was Blackford who had the first hit ever in the franchise history last Tuesday, meaning the 21st of May, not the other day. The 1-1 on the way, outside ball 2. And the count's at 2 balls and 1 strike to Blackford. Talked to him briefly before the game this afternoon. 2 ball, 1 strike pitch. And he swings and a ground ball foul up along first, 2-2. You know, Blackford played college baseball, had 2 stops in college ball. Last few seasons of his college career was at Purdue Fort Wayne. So that's not the main Purdue, but it's still a Division I school. It's a branch university, Purdue University in Fort Wayne. The 2-2 here, ground ball foul up along first. No score, bottom of the second. Yolo and Grand Junction. Played for the Mastodons, member of the Horizon League, but played 2 years at Fort Wayne. Was an All-Horizon League first-team player his senior year. The kick on the 2-2, and that misses low, ball 3. And the count's now at 3 balls and 2 strikes with Kirkland Banks waiting on deck. But prior to his time at Purdue Fort Wayne, Blackford played briefly at Illinois State. Runners at first and second, the 3-2 pitch. Low and in, ball 4. 3 straight walks issued by Reshopo to open this bottom half of the second. And now it's Kirkland Banks who digs in. But it was Blackford who told me, he said, you know what, I asked him, I said, did you play for Steve Holm? And he said yes. And now Steve Holm, get to him in a moment as Banks digs in, who swings, misses, strike 1-on-1. But Steve Holm, strong ties to this area, grew up in Sacramento, went to McClatchy High. Former head baseball coach at Sac State, and now the head baseball coach at Illinois State, where he coached Blackford briefly. The 0-1 pitch, and that is outside ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. I've known Steve a long time. Steve came up to the Giant system. Knew Steve when he played AAA with Fresno, and then Steve went on to have a brief big league career with the Giants and the Twins. But Blackford and I certainly have Steve Holm in common. Kaczynski's at third, Gonzalez at second, Blackford's at first. The count to Banks is at 1-1, and the pitch from Reshopo hit foul up along third. Well, the count's at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Banks, 263, 5 hits in his first 19 at-bats. And he has 5 RBIs for Banks, who's hit safely in his first 5 games. For the Lamar University alum. The 1-2 pitch, low and away, ball 2, 2-2. So the second inning yesterday, how about this? Back-to-back days in which Yolo, specifically in the second inning, has had its first 3 batters walk. Now yesterday it only led to 1 run. We'll see what happens here with nobody out, and the game at the moment, no score. Outfield medium depth straight away, and Reshopo's 2-2 from the set, and Banks looks at strike 3 on the outside corner, and he is out. They're going to challenge that. Well, the pitch is overturned to a ball, so the plate umpire, Garrett Wells, who made the initial strike 3 call, and I think Garrett, when he found out that it was called a ball, Garrett, I think, just sort of was arguing with himself right there. So the count is instead now 3-2 with runners everywhere, and here's the payoff. And that is low outside, ball 4, and that will force home Kaczynski to make it 1-0 Yolo, so the challenge works out well there for the High Wheelers. Give Banks a run batted in. So Kuczynski scores. Gonzalez moves to third. Blackford to second. Banks to first. 4 straight walks. And give Banks a run batted in. So for Kirkland, that's his second RBI this year. And the catcher and Shoemaker will go out and talk to Reshopo. Obviously, it's going to be frustrating because Reshopo obviously thought that he had Banks struck out, but then on the challenge, Yolo ended up winning it. I could see Garrett, as I said, Garrett Wells seemed upset with himself for missing that one. So now it's Justin Kirby who digs in. 2 for his first 6 as a high wheeler. That was here the other night in his first game with Yolo, and he takes low ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and no strikes. So 1-0 in favor of Yolo. Still without a hit. I mean, Yolo's had 5 base runners here this afternoon. 4 walks and a hit by pitch. Both sides still looking for their first hit. Gonzalez at third, Blackford at second, Banks at first. And Reshopo's 1-0, and that's high ball 2. And the count's at 2 balls and no strikes to Kirby, who I got to meet before the game yesterday. 2 balls, no strikes. And the pitch, and that swung on and driven toward left field, and that's going to get down a base hit. Ball played on 1 hop by Smith. Hustling in from third to score is Gonzalez to make it 2-0 Yolo. Gonzalez scores, so Blackford to third, Banks to second. That's the first hit for either side. And give Justin Kirby a run batted in, and it's his first pro RBI. And I snickered that a little bit because remember yesterday I was talking about Kirby in reference to the game here on Tuesday night. I know Kirby didn't play yesterday, but I was referencing him Tuesday night when Yolo scored 19 runs and had 21 hits, and I'll pick that story up in a moment. Now it's Mendoza, and he looks outside, ball 1, 1-0. 2-0 High Wheelers, bottom of the second. As Chris Nabishu, the manager, will come out and now, see, Chris knew I was in the middle of a story, so he'll come out and talk to the pitcher, Reshopo. So I was mentioning the other day where the High Wheelers had that 19-run, 21-hit output, and of the 36 columns you have in a box score for, let's say, a 9-player game, if you will, at-bats, runs, hits, RBIs, and that game here the other night, every number except 1 was filled. The only 0 in there, the only player that did not fill up a column with either an official at-bat, a hit, a run, or an RBI was Justin Kirby. He did not have an RBI. He was the only 0 of those 36 possible columns. So what's he doing his first at-bat today? Has an RBI single. Now it's Mendoza again who swings and misses strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Mendoza. 167, no homers, and 2 runs batted in. And I owe Angel Mendoza a big apology. I certainly apologized to him before the game to his face as he swings and flies this one high to left field. We'll see if this is deep enough to get a run in. Smith to his left makes the catch. Blackford tags from third. He is on his way home, and he will score. Standing up to make it 3-0 Yolo. So the first 3 walks have come in to score. Holding at second is Banks. Kirby holds at first, and that's the first out in the bottom half of the second inning. So 3-0 High Wheelers. RBI for Mendoza is his third. And now for the second time in as many innings, Yolo will go to the top of its order for the center fielder in Braylon Skinner. 0 for 1, grounded out unassisted his first time. And the pitch on the way to Skinner, low and in, ball 1, 1-0. Well, anyway, on Sunday, it was May 26th, we had that doubleheader. Now, Mendoza played in Game 2 of the twin bill, but Dumb Doug didn't realize that it was Mendoza's 24th birthday. So, a happy belated birthday, Angel Mendoza. The 1-0 pitch, and that's outside ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Actually, they're going to challenge that. Grand Junction will. And it's been confirmed a ball. So, 2 balls and no strikes. It stays to Skinner. But anyway, I apologized to Angel directly, and he laughed. He said, don't worry about it. And he says, besides my birthday the other day, we ended up losing twice, so it wasn't really a happy birthday. The 2-0 pitch, and that's tapped towards second base. Charged by Rios. He tags out Kirby going by, and he'll throw on to the first baseman Sackett to get center. It's the same back-to-back innings we have seen a 4-3 double play, which involves a tag play. So, again, you come out every day and we see something you've never seen before. We've seen that a lot over the years. I mean, it's not an uncommon play, but just to see that identical double play in back-to-back innings, the 4-3 tag-out double play. The second baseman Rios, the first baseman Sackett, but 4 walks, a hit, a sac fly, add to 3 Yolo runs. There was 1 hit, no errors, and there was 1 runner left. So 3 runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left. We go to the third, 3-0 Yolo out in front over Grand Junction on YouTube Live. On we go to the top half of the third, 3-0 Yolo leading Grand Junction. This is Doug Greenwald. You're listening to the Yolo High Wheelers on YouTube Live. You can hear us on YouTube Live. Rest of this series and all of the Oakland series coming up starting on June 2nd from Raimondi Park. Now it's Disla who looks at a strike from Brandon McPherson on the outside corner, 0-1. McPherson 3-quarter windup deals, and Disla takes outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. It'll be Disla. And on the top of the Grand Junction order for the center fielder Fisher and Rios, 9-1-2. Sun over the entire field right now as the 1-1 on the way. Fastball swing and a miss. Pitch on the outer half. And the count's now at 1 ball and 2 strikes to Disla, who played in yesterday's game. The kick in the 1-2, and he goes around to the curve and misses strike 3. And he is down on strike. So McPherson, and now all 3 of his innings today, has started it with a strikeout. So he's up to 4 strikeouts now for McPherson. And for the second time this afternoon, Grand Junction will go to the top of its order for the center fielder and Lavoisier Fisher. As McPherson winds and the pitch, and that's chopped back of first. That's a fair ball, and there to grab the ball, Gonzalez, and he takes it right to the bag for the unassisted out. Yeah, Fisher didn't look like I think he thought it was a foul ball and didn't really run, and High Wheelers say thank you very much. So 3 unassisted there, quickly 2 away. Top half of the third inning, 3 runs, 1 hit, no errors for Yolo, nothing across for Grand Junction. And now it's Andres Rios who digs in. Out trying to bunt in the first inning, the pitcher McPherson and the first baseman Gonzalez. And the pitch on the way here, and that's taken for a strike on the outside corner. And the count is a no balls and 1 strike. We'll wind up in the 0-1, and that's up and away, ball 1. And the count's now at 1 ball and 1 strike to Rios, who was with Rocky Mountain last year, the 1-1. Slaps this ball to shortstop. Lede gloves it on the dirt, throws to Gonzalez at first, and Rios is out. First time today that either side goes in order. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We move to the bottom half of the third inning. It remains Yolo 3 and Grand Junction nothing on YouTube Live. To the bottom of the third inning, 3-0 Yolo. And Bobby Leday swings and misses the first pitch from Frank Reshopo, strike one. No balls and a strike. Leday, Smith, and Kaczynski, 2-3-4 as Reshopo deals on the 0-1, and that's up and in, ball one. 1 ball and 1 strike. Doug Greenwald with you here on YouTube Live. Glad you can join us on this in sun-filled Tuesday afternoon from Yolo County. The windup in the 1-1, and that's low ball 2 to Leday. So now 2 balls and 1 strike. Leday was hit with a pitch in the first inning. As Reshopo 3-quarter windup, the 2-1, and a swing and a miss, strike 2. 2-2. I was talking to Leday before the game about the grand slam he hit here on Tuesday night. The windup in the 2-2, and that swung on and looped towards center, but to his left, the shortstop Disla is there to make the catch. Really a looping liner there. And Leday is out. 1 down. Here in the bottom half of the third inning, it's 3-0 Yolo leading Grand Junction. And now the left fielder Tanner Smith will come to the plate. So I asked Leday, of course it's his first professional season. As the pitch on the way to Smith, and Tanner takes a strike on the outside corner. No balls and a strike, so I asked him, I said, was that your first ever Grand Slam period? Well, high school, college ball, draft league last year. Smith hits this one to first, to step to his right, sack it, and the first baseman will underhand the ball to the pitcher, Reshopo, covering. 3-1 on the play at first. 2 up, 2 down. Bottom of the third inning, it is 3-0 Yolo. And now Sam Kaczynski comes up, and Leday said no. He said, my first home run of the season last year, playing in the MLB Draft League for West Virginia, for the West Virginia Bears. He said, my first home run last year was a grand slam. Well, the pitch on the way is a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. West Virginia Black Bears is their name in the MLB Draft League. The windup in the 0-1, and that's reached for and a foul to the screen, strike 2, 0-2. But so he says, back-to-back years, the first home run I hit in each of the last 2 seasons has been a grand slam. Maybe you just ought to hold it 1 home run. 1 ball or no balls and 2 strikes to count. The windup and the pitch, and Kaczynski swinging a miss at a fastball, strike 3. And he is out. It was Kaczynski who drew a leadoff walk that led to the 3-run second for the High Wheelers. That's the first strikeout today for Reshopo. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. Both sides go in order in the third. We go on to the fourth here today. 3-0 the Yolo High Wheelers out in front over the Grand Junction Jackalopes on YouTube Live. Inning number 4 from Dobbins Stadium, as it is 3-0 Yolo out in front over the Grand Junction Jackalopes. Again, more action tomorrow here on YouTube Live. We'll get the feed underway at roughly 4:20, 4:25, right in that neighborhood. First pitch at 4:30. Drew Sackett leads it off, and Brandon McPherson misses high with a fastball, ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and no strike. Sackett, Turner, and Shoemaker. 3-4-5 to face McPherson, who has 3 strikeouts. Actually, 4 strikeouts. His first now 3+ innings as he pours in strike 1 on the outside corner. And the count's at 1 ball and 1 strike. Sackett, he walked in the first inning. And the 1-1 here, and that swung on line left field, and that's going to get down. And it's going to get past Smith, and the ball's going to go all the way to the wall, and Sackett is going to end up all the way at third. Well, that was one of those all-or-nothing plays there by Tanner Smith, the left fielder. I say all or nothing. I don't think he was going to catch the ball. That was the main thing is he probably regrets trying for that ball. I think he probably, if he has to look back on it, should have just said, you know what, let me just slam on the brakes, give the Jackalopes what they earned right there. And Sackett, when you first look at that ball hit, you're thinking, okay, it's probably a single. But Smith, unfortunately, looks like played that one into a triple. So Sackett is aboard. He is 1 for 1, and the leadoff man now is at third base. And here is Matt Turner. Infield is back. It's a 3-0 Yolo lead. And McPherson's pitch, and Turner inside outs this one and bloops it into right field. A base hit just like that. A run is home for the Jackalopes, and it's 3-1 Yolo. So Turner, a 2-run homer yesterday. Now give him an RBI this afternoon. So 3-1 in favor of the High Wheelers. RBI for Matt Turner is his now team high 10th this year. And now it's Shoemaker who's 0 for 1. And McPherson's pitch, and Shoemaker first pitch swinging. Flies this one toward the line and left. A long run for Smith. Dives for this one. Cannot get it. It's a foul ball, though. Now, that's a little different kind of play than the one a few moments ago. This one you knew was going to be foul, so he really had nothing to lose trying to dive for that baseball. Diving far to his right, but foul ball. No balls and 1 strike. So Turner, the runner at first base, to attempt to steal this year. So he's being held on by Gonzalez. No balls and 1 strike. 3-1 High Wheelers, and a pitch, big breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 2. And the count's no balls and 2 strikes with Damian Henderson waiting on deck. Sidestep offering here, waste pitch in the dirt, ball 1. And the count's now at 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 1-2 the count to Shoemaker, second appearance of the series. Lead at first by Turner. And the 1-2 pitch hit on the ground at first. Glove by Gonzalez. He goes to shortstop Lede at second for 1. To the pitcher McPherson covering. Not in time. And it's always an awkward play when you're trying for the 3-6-1. I mean, obviously the pitcher has to get over in a hurry. And, of course, the batter runner, especially a left-handed batter who's a little closer to first base, is a bit of an advantage. And it's just the pitcher trying to get his feet positioned, trying to take that throw. Sometimes you have the first baseman who might go back toward the bag as well, so there's times where you might see 2 defenders on the bag at the same time. So that 3-6-1 double play is a tough one to turn. But they do get 1 out, 3-6 on the force at second. Shoemaker now at first. He's 0 for 2, and now it's Damian Henderson who takes low outside, ball 1. And the count is a 1 ball and no strikes. Henderson struck out swinging in the second inning. So Shoemaker at first, yet to attempt to steal. And the 1-0 here is low for a ball. 1-1. Outfield shallow, well around to the left. So the left fielder Smith shades the line. The center fielder Skinner positioned out toward left center. And then nobody home in right center. I mean, the right fielder Kirby's playing normally where the right fielder would. So you have like straightaway center and right center where really nobody is home. The count is at 2 balls and no strikes to Henderson, a strikeout victim swinging in the second inning. As McPherson comes set and now delivers, and that's outside, ball 3. 3-0 the count. Mentioned Garrett Wells is the home plate umpire this afternoon. Eric Martinez, the crew chief at first base. And the umpire around at third is the former linebacker at LSU, at Louisiana State University, Dean Poteet. Dean's still built like a linebacker. Played at LSU back in the mid-1970s. 3 balls, no strikes. And the pitch, and that's down the middle for a strike. 3 balls and a strike. I met Dean Poteet yesterday. Came up in the press box before the game. Has a big LSU keychain lanyard. 3 balls, 1 strike. McPherson set and now delivers, and a high chopper towards short. Leday up with it, flips to Banks at second for 1, and his throw to Gonzalez not in time. That was a tough play because Leday had to charge the ball. His momentum was really carrying him toward first base, and then he had to pivot back to second, and there's no doubt that cost them any hope of a double play, but that's really the only play they had right there. So Shoemaker is forced at second, 4-6. Henderson now 0 for 2. He becomes the runner at first base with a 3-1 Yolo lead over Grand Junction. Top of the 4th inning, and now it's Bathauer who bats. And McPherson comes home, and Bathauer flies this one to center field. Skinner right there. This time position in straightaway center, and he makes the catch. And Bathauer retired. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man stranded. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. 3-1, Yolo out in front over Grand Junction on YouTube Live. To the bottom half of the 4th inning. 3-1, Yolo leads Grand Junction. This is Doug Greenwald. You're listening to the Yolo High Wheelers on YouTube Live. Again, we'll have YouTube Live the next 3 games of this series and the next set of games as well over in Oakland. Jose Gonzalez leads it off, and Frank Rishopa winds, and the pitch Gonzalez takes, and that's low ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and no strikes to Jose Gonzalez, who takes low and in ball 2. And the count's now at 2 balls and no strikes. Gonzalez walked and scored in that 3-run second inning. Swings here and drives one toward left center field, and that's going to get down, and that's going to pass the center fielder Fisher. The ball's going to go all the way to the wall. Gonzalez hustling around second. He is on his way to third, and he will make it with a big belly flop dive in the third. And it's a leadoff triple for Jose Gonzalez. Eventually the center fielder Fisher got to the ball and got it back in toward second base. Well, but this bit of an oddity. Both leadoff batters in the 4th inning have hit a triple. So we've seen 2 4-3 tag-out double plays, and now we've seen in this game, and now each side of the 4th inning has led off with a triple. So Gonzalez at third, his first triple of the year. Now it's Blackford who walked and scored in that 3-run third. He takes outside ball 1-0. Infield in the 1-0. Swing and a tapper towards second. That will not do the job. Up with it is Rios. He looks Gonzalez back to third and throws to second at first. And Blackford is out, so that's 1 down. We're on the bottom half of the 4th inning. Obviously, the High Wheelers trying to at least get a run back. Infield will stay in for Kirkland Banks. RBI bases loaded walk in the 2nd inning. And he swings here and grounds this one to third. Grabbed by Bathauer. He comes home, and now Gonzalez hung up between third and home. Throw back to third, and out there with a dive is Gonzalez. So Gonzalez went on contact. It was the shortstop Disla who took the throw from the catcher Shoemaker. So nice job by Bathauer, the third baseman. Threw home, got Gonzalez in the rundown, and Shoemaker threw to the shortstop Disla covering third. So that's 5-2-6 on the fielder's choice. 5-2-6 there, and now 2 outs. Banks at first base. Snap throw to first, and the ball gets away from the first baseman. Sackett goes down the right field side, hustling to get the ball. Rios from second base, and Banks will move over to second. That'll be a throwing error on the pitcher, Reshopo. So that prior play, the High Wheelers, of course, got it was at second out and lost 180 feet. Well, they get 90 feet back at the moment. Justin Kirby at the plate, and he takes up and away from Reshopo, ball 1. And the count is at 1 ball and no strikes to Kirby, who takes low and in, ball 2. And the count's now at 2 balls and no strikes. Mentioned Kirby, talking to him. First time he's ever been out to California, the 2-0. And he takes down the middle, strike 1. And the count's now at 2 balls and 1 strike. Kirby told me that he had gone a couple of places to spring training with some of the other MLB partner league teams. Told me that he had gone to spring training with the Fargo team in the American Association, and then they said to him, well, we got a few more outfielders. Banks takes off for third, pitch taken inside, throw to third, and Banks slides in safely. That was a good job by the third baseman, Bathauer. The throw from the catcher, Shoemaker, almost went into left field, and Bathauer had to climb the ladder to keep that ball from going into left field. To give Kirkland Banks a steal of second. That's his 4th steal this year in as many tries. Meanwhile, the count is at 3 balls and 1 strike to Kirby, who had an RBI single to left in the second. Reshopo's pitch taken down the middle, strike 2, 3, and 2. So Kirby told me he went to spring training with both Fargo and the American Association, and then also Missoula here in the Pioneer League. And, you know, he gets to Fargo, and then, as it turns out, they ended up signing a few veteran players, and Kirby really wasn't going to get many at-bats there if he had made the team. And then Missoula ends up taking Kirby to a spring training. The kick on the 3-2, and he pops one up foul right side. 3 balls, 2 strikes. It is a 3-1 lead for Yolo, leading Grand Junction, bottom of the 4th inning. And then Kirby said he gets to Missoula, and there was a few more outfielders they put in the mix to make the team. And they said to him, well, if you make this team, you're not going to be getting a lot of playing time. So Yolo said, guess what? We'll take you. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch, and Kirby takes, and that's low inside, ball 4. So he's on base for the second time.
Now batting for the High Wheelers, number 35, Angel Mendoza.
So now Mendoza, he digs in for the second time, a sac fly in the second inning, and he takes a strike on the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike to count. So kind of an eventful year so far for Kirby, who finally got his first pro chance here the other night. Mendoza waits. There goes Kirby. Pitch low outside. And now Kirby hung up between first and second. And it's going to be the second baseman Rios who runs down Kirby, and eventually to Disla, the shortstop, who will tag him out. And that completes the inning. I'm surprised that Banks didn't try to sneak home. But I thought, that Kirby was going to try and get in the rundown long enough and try to, but I'm surprised that Banks didn't try to come to the plate. So Kirby is out, and that will go 2-4. I believe 2-4-6 on that play. We'll have to try and get a clarification on that. We'll score it for you when we get back, but Kirby is out trying to steal. Mendoza leads off next inning. No runs, one hit. There was one error and one left. We go to the fifth. It is 3-1 in favor of Grand Junction. I'm sorry, 3-1 in favor of Yolo, leading Grand Junction on YouTube Live. Can somebody... Moving to the fifth inning, 3 runs, 2 hits, no errors for Yolo. Run, 2 hits, no errors for Grand Junction. And Ethan Smith leads it off in the first pitch on the way to Smith. Big swing and a miss with a breaking ball, strike 1-0-1. It'll be Smith, Disla, and then the top of the Grand Junction order for the center fielder, Fisher. 8-9-1 as we commence the fifth inning. Brandon McPherson winds in the 0-1. Bunted foul back of the plate, strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. We will get clarification on that play. You know, sometimes you get a lot of names and numbers involved. That caught stealing on Kirby. So we will get a clarification as soon as we can, probably from the Grand Junction bench. They'll know who was involved in all that. Yes, I know. It's my job to call it. I get it. But sometimes I might look at Banks. I might look at where the ball is. Banks, who was at third, I was going to look to see if he came home. But regardless, we'll get clarification on that caught stealing. The 0-2 pitch, and that's high outside, ball 1 to Ethan Smith. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He is 0 for 1. Reached on a force in the second inning. McPherson out of the windup in the 1-2, and that's high, ball 2. And the count's now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 the count. And the pitch to Smith inside, ball 3. And the count's now at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So 3-2. They'll wind up in the payoff. Swung on, and that's hit high and foul down the right field side. And the count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Mentioned that we'll be in Oakland starting on Tuesday night. The kick on the 3-2. Another pop-up foul right side. And the count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes. How about last night? We've talked about all the craziness in the Pioneer League. And we saw some more last night with some scores. A 3-2 pitch, high fastball, swing and a miss, strike 3. And Ethan Smith is out, and that's a 5th strikeout for McPherson. 1 out. And now, here is the shortstop, and Jeff Disla. He struck out swinging in the 3rd inning, and the first pitch, big swing and a miss, strike 1. And the count is at no balls and 1 strike. So, how about last night, the game that was in Colorado Springs, the 0-1 pitch, and that's popped up foul right side. And the count's at no balls and 2 strikes. Game that was won last night in Colorado Springs. It was Rocky Mountain 27 and Oakland 11. That's right, last night in the Springs. Got to give you the numbers on that one. The kick in the 0-2, and that's outside ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and 2 strikes. 3-1, Yolo leads Grand Junction here in the top half of the 5th inning. As McPherson ready to go. The windup in the 1-2 pitch, and that's a high fastball, taking ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Rocky Mountain, here was the thing. It was a 27-11 game last night, and the game, neither team scored in the first inning. So all these runs were from the second through the top of the ninth. The kick in the 2-2 inside 3-2. Oakland was down 27-6 going to the ninth. Generally, you see a team, wow, a team scores 5 runs in the ninth inning. Well, what a comeback, or what a almost comeback. Not quite the case there. The kick in the 3-2, and that's popped up foul back of the plate. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Yolo 3, and Grand Junction 1, top of the 5th. So, yeah, you score 5 in the ninth, that only brings you to within 16 runs. The 3-2 here, and that is high ball 4. So Disla on for the first time this afternoon. A 3-1 lead for the High Wheelers, leading the Jackalopes. And now for the 3rd time this afternoon, Grand Junction will go to the top of its order for the center fielder in Lavoisier Fisher. So Oakland, so they, you score 11 runs. That's still a pretty good night. Bad news is you lose by 16. Oakland didn't score until the 6th inning. I mean, they were shut out. I'll give you what the score was going to the 6th. As the pitch on the way to Fisher, swinging a foul to the backstop, strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. Going to the 6th inning last night at Rocky Mountain, it was 21-0. Well, Oakland did outscore them 11-6 the rest of the way. No balls, 1 strike to count. Outfield around to left, big hole in left center. Just let first, and the 0-1 from McPherson is inside ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and 1 strike. So Rocky Mountain had 27 runs, 27 hits, and 1 error. Oakland 11 runs, 15 hits, and 1 error. Brett Carson was 5 for 5 for the Rocky Mountain Ball Club with 4 runs scored and 4 RBIs. And Stephen Wilmer 4 for 6 with 6 RBIs. Remember, I was talking about how it's a snap throw to first and out with a dive. He's been picked off as Disla. 1-3 on the pickoff. The pitcher McPherson to the first baseman Gonzalez, and they get Disla. So 2 out and nobody on. 3-1. Yolo leading Grand Junction, top of the 5th. Remember, I was saying the other night that Yolo came within an RBI, 1 RBI from away from having all 36 columns in the box score filled. In other words, where there would be no zeros. It was only Justin Kirby didn't have an RBI for the High Wheelers the other night. Well, Rocky Mountain took care of that last night. Every line of the 36 columns for a 9 offensive player lineup was filled. The 1-1 pitch curve, swing and a miss, strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That's right, filled by Rocky Mountain. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Fisher's 0 for 2. And the pitch, and that's swung on a miss, strike 3. Pitch down and in. And Fisher is down on strikes, and that's a 6th strikeout for McPherson, who matches J.C. Ariza for most strikeouts by a High Wheeler pitcher this season. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. Halfway done, we go to the bottom of the 5th. It is 3-1, Yolo leading Grand Junction on YouTube Live. Yeah, they put 1 in. Halfway done, we go on to the bottom half of the fifth inning from Davis, California, and a 3-1 lead for the Yolo High Wheelers. And Frank Reshopo's first pitch to Angel Mendoza's inside, ball one. And the count's at 1 ball and no strikes. It'll be the catcher Mendoza. Then the top of the Yolo order for the center fielder Skinner, and then Leday as Mendoza swings and misses, strike one. And the count's at 1 ball and 1 strike. Mendoza, a sac fly in the second inning. He was left standing at home plate when Kirby was caught stealing to end the fourth inning. Reshopo out of the windup in the 1-1 pitch, and that is low, ball 2, 2-1. But yeah, that game last night, the Ballers, well, safe to say they used a lot of pitchers. The 2-1 pitch, and that's a strike on the outside corner, 3-1. Or 2 balls, 2 strikes, let me correct that. 2-2 the count. They end up using 8 pitchers in that one. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. The windup in the delivery, and that's up and in, ball 3. So the count now at 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3-2 the count. The windup and the payoff. Mendoza hits this one up the middle, far to his left, the shortstop Disla, and he'll get rid of it, throw it to Sackett over at first, and Mendoza is out. 1 down. Top half of the fifth, or bottom half of the fifth, a 3-1 lead for Yolo. And now for the third time this afternoon, Yolo will go to the top of its order for the center fielder in Braylon Skinner. But, you know, you get games like that in Colorado. I mean, in Colorado Springs, it's the elevation of about 7,500. Skinner bunts one foul to the backstop, strike one. No balls and 1 strike. In that game, there were 2 home runs hit by each team. Trevor Halsema and Brad Burkle for the Ballers went deep. The 0-1 pitch, and that's strike on the outside corner, 0-2. Brett Carson, Steven Rivas each homered for Rocky Mountain. But how about this one? They had 27 hits. I know I told you about that. The windup in the 0-2, outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. They had, in terms of doubles, 11 doubles last night. Brett Carson had 3 doubles. Wilmer had 3 doubles. The windup in the 1-2, and that's top foul up along first. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. So, yeah, I got high elevation, and I've called enough games at that ballpark when I was in the Pacific Coast League that I remember calling a game once where Colorado Springs, of course, then it was a AAA team for the Rockies, had a 25-run game. The 1-2 pitch, and that's low and in, ball 2. And the count's at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2-2 the count to Skinner. He's 0 for 2. And the pitch, swing and a breaking pitch down and in, foul tipped into the glove of the catcher Shoemaker. And Skinner is out. Second strikeout for Reshopo. And now Bobby Leday will dig in for the third time. He is 0 for 1. He's been hit with a pitch. 3 runs, 2 hits, no errors for the High Wheelers. 1-2-0 for the Jackalopes. And the pitch on the way to Leday is outside, ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and no strikes. Other games not yet underway in the Pioneer League. Idaho Falls in northern Colorado. Oakland again is at Rocky Mountain. Glacier's at Great Falls. Boise's at Billings. And Missoula is at Ogden. The windup in the 1-0. And that looks outside, ball 2. And the count's at 2 balls and no strikes. And the left fielder Smith on deck. 3-1 Yolo. Reshopo deals. And that's outside of Leday, ball 3. So 3 balls and no strikes. 3-0 the count. And the pitch swung on, and that slapped past the third baseman Bathauer and into left field, a base hit. So Leday, give him a single. So Leday at shortstop this afternoon. Braylon Marine, he has the day off. So we've seen Leday get 4 starts at second. This is his second start at short. As I mentioned, Marine is not in the lineup this afternoon. Of course, the other Yolo catcher, Mason Minzy, not in the lineup either. So now it's Tanner Smith who takes a strike on the inside corner. And the count's at no balls and 1 strike to Smith, who's 0 for 2. Facing Frank Rishopo, mentioned grew up in Scottsdale, went to Chaparral High School. Now turn, throw back to first, and out with a dive there is Lede. Boy, he was about a quarter of the way to second base, and then got hung up between first and second, and next thing you know, he's out. Picked off 1-3. Pitcher Rishopo to the first baseman Sackett. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. On we go to the 6th inning today. It is 3-1. Yolo leads Grand Junction on YouTube Live. And we go to the 6th inning today at a 3-1 Yolo lead over Grand Junction. Doug Greenwald with you on YouTube Live. Brandon McPherson still out there, and the first pitch to Rios. Andres takes outside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes the count. Rios, who takes, and that's outside, ball 2. So 2-0 the count. Rios, Sackett, and Turner. 2, 3, and 4. McPherson kicks down the 2-0. And that's a high pop-up foul right side, 2-1. So McPherson into his 6th inning now. And again, pitching coach Jerome Williams telling me at the beginning of the season that, I know we're still pretty much at the beginning of the season, but saying that the pitchers, the starters, will go really a maximum of 80 pitches or 5 innings, but McPherson now into his 6th. I don't have an exact pitch count, but still out there. And mention McPherson, this is his first appearance of the year, the 3-1. And Rios is swinging a pop-up foul right side. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So the 3 wins by the High Wheelers this year, none have come by way of the starting pitching. They'll wind up in the 3-2. And that's just off the plate, ball 4. So Rios draws a walk, and now it's Sackett who comes to the plate as the possible tying run. But the most innings any High Wheeler pitcher has worked this year, whether it be a starter or a reliever, has been 4 innings. So McPherson has exceeded that. A 3-1 lead for the High Wheelers. All right, we have a clarification on that rundown to end the 4th inning. As the pitch to Sackett taken inside, snapped to the first, and just back safely with a dive is Rios. Close play there. First baseman Gonzalez taking the throw from the catcher Mendoza. So when Kirby was caught stealing to end the 4th, we checked with the Grand Junction bench as Rios goes, and the pitch to Sackett, fly to right center field. To his left is the center fielder Skinner, and he makes the catch. And Sackett is out. Sackett tripled and scored in the fourth. He walked in the first, but retired for the first time today. One down. And now it's Smith who comes up, and he is 0 for 2. So when Justin Kirby was caught stealing in the fourth inning, that went 2, 4, 3, 6. The catcher Shoemaker, the second baseman Rios, the first baseman Sackett, and the shortstop Disla. Now the pitch on the way to Turner, hit the third, grabbed by Kaczynski, goes to Banks at second for one, and on to Gonzalez at first. That is a double play. So 5 to 4 to 3 on the double play. And McPherson gets through 6 innings this afternoon. So Kaczynski, Banks, Gonzalez, 5-4-3, third, second, first. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. But yeah, just to finish that play on Kirby to end the fourth inning, it was a caught stealing 2-4-3-6. And I went down between innings prior break to check with the Grand Junction bench on that, and they were able to explain to me the play right there. All right, no runs, no hits, no errors, no one left. On to the bottom half of inning number 6 here on this Thursday. It is 3-1. Yolo out in front over Grand Junction on YouTube Live. Three runs, 3 hits, so no errors for Yolo. A run, 2 hits, and an error for Grand Junction. We move along to the bottom half of the 6th inning, and a 3-1 Yolo advantage as Frank Reshopo delivers, and the first pitch on the way to Tanner Smith is inside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Smith, Kaczynski, and Gonzalez, 3, 4, and 5. The windup in the 1-0 from Reshopo, hit towards second base. To his right, backhand grab by Rios, and he will throw to Sackett at first. And Tanner Smith is retired. 1 out. Smith now 0 for 3. And Sam Kaczynski will come up. So sort of funny, when I went down between innings and was checking with Chris Nabashu, the Grand Junction manager, on that rundown, he had Sackett was on deck, ready to come up to start the last inning. As the pitch to Kaczynski is inside, ball 1. 1-0. Not literally starting that inning with Sackett, but was on deck. And Sackett said, well, no, I was the one who actually tagged the runner out. Now the pitch on the way is fly toward left field, and to his left is Ethan Smith, and he'll be there to make the catch. And Kaczynski is quickly out number 2 in the bottom of the 6th inning, and a 3-1 lead for Yolo. And now Jose Gonzalez will come up. There was, I should say, Disla who applied the final tag, but Sackett said, yeah, there was a catcher who threw the ball initially, and then that went to Rios, and then it went to me, meaning Sackett, and then Sackett threw it to Disla. Swinging a line drive, right field, base hit by Gonzalez. So Jose Gonzalez has his second hit. Third time he has been on base safely today. He's walked, he has tripled, and now has singled. As the right fielder Henderson gets the ball in towards second. 3 runs, 4 hits, and no errors for the High Wheelers. 1-2-1 for the Jackalopes. And now it's Blackford who's 0 for 1, a walk and a run scored. Outfield medium depth and straight away. And the pitch on the way to Blackford is a strike on the inside corner. And the count's at no balls and one strike to Blackford, wearing his white pants all the way up to his knees, showing the thick black socks. 0-1 from Reshopo, and that is low for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mentioned Reshopo coming into today. It's been in 1 game, 1 start. That was against Boise. Last start, 4 innings, gave up 1 run earned on 4 hits for the second-year Jackalope and Reshopo. So 1 ball and 1 strike to count with 2 out. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Yolo. 1-2-1 for Grand Junction. There goes Gonzalez, and the pitch swung on, lined right field, base hit. Gonzalez will keep on going to third, and he will stop there, standing up as the right fielder Henderson gets the ball in towards second. So Gonzalez goes first to third. Blackford, he's on base for the second time. Hit number 4 for Yolo. Let me correct that. Hit number 5 for Yolo. Beg your pardon there. 5 hits for the High Wheelers. Now it's Kirkland Banks who takes a strike on the inside corner. Well, the count's at no balls and 1 strike. Yeah, last inning in the 5th, Yolo did have 1 hit. So last inning, the final totals were no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and no one left. No ball, 1 strike pitch, turned throw to first, and back safely standing up is Blackford when the first baseman Sackett there to take the throw. No balls and 1 strike to count. And Reshopo from the set kicks and delivers, and that's taken low, ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and 1 strike to Kirkland Banks, again getting the start at second base today, and he takes up an end, and that hit him. Like that got him just under his, or just above his left arm. So that loads the bases, so Banks on base safely now for the second time this afternoon. Gonzalez, of course, holds at third, Blackford up to second, and Banks to first. That loads him up for Justin Kirby. Second batter hit today by Reshopo. I have to think that both the starting pitchers today are just about to their limit, as we have just about done with 6 innings today. So runners everywhere. Kirby, an RBI single. He's 1 for 1 with a walk, and he swings the first pitch, and he pops it up. Right side of the diamond, Sackett, the first baseman on the grass, and to his right, he's there to make the catch. So Kirby pops to first, and Yolo doesn't score in the 6th. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and Yolo leaves the bases loaded. On we go to the 7th here at Dobbin Stadium, 3-1. Yolo leading Grand Junction on YouTube Live. We go on to the top of the 7th inning. 3-1 is the advantage for the Yolo High Wheelers. Again, come on out and join us tomorrow. Another 4:30 start. Finals Friday. So we'll be giving away the official Scantron sheets, those old green and white sheets, and an in-game blue book. Prizes to get you ready for finals week. And then Greek Life Saturday. Come rush with the High Wheelers representing your chapter. The most passionate fan wins our team-signed Fan of the Night bat. Tell you more promotions in a moment. Jacob Stobart, he is the new Yolo pitcher. We head on to the 7th. 3-1 Yolo. And the first pitch to Austin Shoemaker is a strike called on the outside corner. And the count is no balls and 1 strike. It'll be Shoemaker, Henderson, and Bathauer. 5, 6, and 7. The windup in the 0-1, and that's outside ball 1, 1-1 signature Sunday. That'll be coming up, well, obviously on Sunday. 1:05 first pitch. So we got 4:30 tomorrow, 4:30 Saturday, 1:05 here on Sunday. A wind on the 1-1, and that's outside for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike, and then signature Sunday. Chance to come out early and get autographs from High Wheeler players. 2 balls and 1 strike the count. So McPherson, good job in his first appearance as a High Wheeler. Outfield around to the left of the 2-1, and a breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. McPherson, 6 innings, allowed 2 hits, 1 run earned. Walked 4, struck out 6. Look, wind up in the 2-2, and that's up and in ball 3. So now 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Shoemaker, he's 0 for 2 today. 3-1 Yolo, top half of the 7th inning. Outfield around to the left, the kick in the 3-2, and that's tapped foul toward the backstop. And the count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So McPherson, the 6 innings, the most innings by a High Wheeler pitcher. 6 strikeouts, again match J.C. Ariza for the most by a High Wheeler pitcher. 3-2 the count to Shoemaker. Stobart, who like Shoemaker, grew up in the Phoenix area, delivers, and the pitch is lifted high in the air into left field. Tanner Smith drifting back, and he'll have room in front of the warning track to make the catch. So Shoemaker is out, 1 away. And now it's Damian Henderson who comes up. He is 0 for 2. 3-1 advantage for the High Wheelers here in the 7th inning. Henderson is 0 for 2. Stobart, white pants up to his knees, showing the thick black sock steels, and a breaking ball, high ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Stobart is 26 years old, 5'10", 180 pounds, and out of the Phoenix area. And he was in Billings last year in this league, playing for manager Billy Horton. So you have Stobart and McPherson, each with Billings last year, and obviously both playing for Billy. As the 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. And the count's at 1 ball and 1 strike. Stobart, first appearance of this series. Pitched in game 2 of the doubleheader here on Sunday against Rocky Mountain. The 1-1 pitch, and that's inside ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Stobart worked 1 inning again in game 2 on Sunday. Gave up 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned, a walk, a strikeout, and a home run allowed. He winds and the 2-1, and that's hit foul up along first, strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Stobart. Mixes in a fastball, curveball, changeup, and a slider. Played his college baseball in East Texas at Stephen F. Austin University. So 2 balls and 2 strikes the count to Damian Henderson. And the pitch, and he lays off a breaking ball, ball 3. And the count's at 3 balls and 2 strikes with Bathauer wetting on deck. So 3-2 the count. 3-quarter windup in the payoff. And that's outside ball 4, so Henderson on base safely for the first time this afternoon, and this allows the tying run to come up in Bathauer to face Stobart. who mentioned pitched briefly last year for Billings. 6 games last season for the Mustangs, was 2-1 with a 2.38 ERA. But much of his time last year was in the Frontier League, another MLB partner, pro league at Tres Riviere, or Trois Rivoire, or I think it's pronounced Trois Rivoire. A little bad in my French, but was without a decision there in 22 games with a 6.26 earned run average. 3-1 Yolo, top half of the 7th. Is pitching coach Jerome Williams coming out, and I guess Jerome's not too concerned with the temperature, which was at least at game time 94 degrees. Not too concerned, wearing a big black hooded sweatshirt. Well, this might be cold. Jerome's originally, even though he lives in Mission Viejo now, Jerome's originally from Honolulu. This might be cold for him. Now it's Bathauer, and Stobart deals, and Bathauer drops a bunt up on the grass. Third base side, bare hand grab by Kaczynski, and it's sort of Gonzalez at first just in time. Good stretch by Gonzalez to stay on the bag. Now Henderson moves up to second base, and Bathauer is out. So 5-3 on that play. So I don't think a sacrifice is going to be rewarded. I think Bathauer was really trying more for a hit right there than to advance the runner. I think with the third baseman, Kaczynski, playing back, his intent there was to get a hit, not so much just advance the runner. So now it's Smith who takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. I think in a 2-run game, with that run at second base not really meaning a ton in terms of the significance of the score, I can understand if it's maybe a 1-run game to advance the runner, but I'm thinking a 2-run game, I think he was going more for the intention of a hit versus to give himself up. So no sacrifice there, as the 0-1 pitch is taken for a strike on the outside corner, 0-2. Of course, it's always subject for possible debate after a game. Sometimes a manager or a player might say, well, hey, look, I just wanted to get myself up on a bunt. They might think differently. The 0-2 pitch outside, ball 1, 1-2. But for the moment, just a regular put out on a bunt play as opposed to a sacrifice bunt. Counts at 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ethan Smith. He's 0 for 2. A 3-1 lead for the Yolo High Wheelers, top of the 7th. Yolo trying to make it 3 straight wins, all in this series. The 1-2 pitch, and Smith swings and misses strike 3. Pitch on the outer half, and he strikes out swinging for the second time this afternoon for a strikeout for Stobart. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a runner left. Stretch time on this Thursday from Dobbins Stadium. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It is Yolo 3 and Grand Junction 1 here on YouTube Live. Stretch time from Dobbins Stadium as we go to the bottom half of the 7th. 3-1. Yolo out in front And the new pitcher for Grand Junction is the right-hander Connor Barton. 5'10", 205 pounds, 23 years old, was with Grand Junction last season. So both starting pitchers today worked 6 innings. McPherson for Yolo and Reshopo for Grand Junction. Reshopo 6 innings, allowed 5 hits, 3 runs all earned. He walked 5, struck out 2, and hit 2 batters. So we start the bottom of the 7th inning. By the way, Barton, first appearance of this series. Angel Mendoza leads it off. And the first pitch to Mendoza. Fastball, swing and a miss, strike 1. And the count's at no balls and 1 strike. It'll be Mendoza. And then the top of the Yolo order for the center fielder, Skinner. And then Leday. So batters 9, 1, and 2 here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. All 3 Yolo runs coming in the 2nd. And then Grand Junction's run coming in the 4th. Again, Mendoza part of that 3-run second with that, sac fly, the kick and the pitch, and that's taken for a strike on the inner half. And the count's now at no balls and 2 strikes. So Angel Mendoza facing Connor Barton, who's out of Irmo, South Carolina. The kick in the 0-2. And Mendoza lifts one high and foul down the left side. No balls and 2 strikes. Barton, 3rd appearance for him this year, all out of the bullpen. No wins, no losses. He's allowed 2 earned runs in 5 2/3 innings. So no balls and 2 strikes the count. And the kick and the pitch, and that swung on and lined in the center, a base hit for Angel Mendoza. So Barton left that ball up, and Mendoza attacks it in the center where the center fielder Fisher gets the ball in towards second. Hit number 6 for the Yolo High Wheelers, go along with a 3-1 lead. And now for the 4th time this afternoon, Yolo will go to the top of its order for the center fielder and Braylon Skinner, and he is 0 for 3. Barton, I have to ask Chris Nomashu about this, the matchup. I have to talk to him tomorrow. A lot of players are from the Phoenix area, played college baseball, at least in the Phoenix area. As the first pitch to Skinner, showing bunt. Take it outside, ball 1. 1 ball at 0 strikes. Barton out of Park University in Gilbert, Arizona. Second year in Grand Junction for Barton. 2-0 last year for the Jackalopes. 1 ball, no strikes. And the pitch, and that's bunted foul to the screen. Strike 1. And the count's at 1 ball and 1 strike. But yeah, the pitcher in Barton, 3 seasons at Park Gilbert. 1 ball and 1 strike the count to Skinner, who's 0 for 3. Went first base by Mendoza. And the pitch, and that's bunted foul up along third. And the count's at 1 ball and 2 strikes with Bobby Leday wetting on deck. But yeah, Barton and Reshopo, Diego Jordan, another pitcher. The kick in the 1-2. That's outside, ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Shoemaker. A lot of guys who are from that, went to college in that Phoenix area. The kick on the 2-2. Swung on, chopped to first base. That's gloved by Sackett. Steps on first for 1. And his throw to second goes into left field. Now the left fielder Smith picks the ball up, and his throw to third. And sliding in safely there is Mendoza. Third baseman Bathauer took the throw. Well, I know that Sackett intended to try and get Mendoza on the reverse double play on the tag. The reverse double play where you have to throw to second and becomes a tag play. That almost became a double play, throwing the ball into left field and getting Mendoza going to third. But instead, Skinner is out 3 unassisted. We'll score that more for you in a moment. And now it's Leday with the infield in, and he's tied up in knots and misses strike 1-0-1. Mendoza goes to second on a 3 unassisted, moves to third on the throwing error by the first baseman Sackett. So 3 unassisted, and then an error 3, error on the first baseman. The 0-1 pitch Ledee a pop-up foul. No balls and no balls and 2 strikes. So Mendoza is at third with 1 out, so they end up getting a runner at third on that whole thing. Ledee is 1 for 2. He's been hit with a pitch. He singled. The kick in the 0-2, and that swung on and lifted toward left field. Should be deep enough to get a run in. Back to make the catch is Smith. Mendoza tags from third, and he will score easily standing up. So the error comes back to hurt. Give Ledee a sacrifice fly and a run batted in. So a little more breathing room now for the High Wheelers, who have a 4-1 lead. So Ledee continuing his good series. So give him a sacrifice fly. So Ledee, 6 RBIs here on Tuesday, RBI yesterday, and now an RBI today. He's got 8 RBIs in this series. Gives him now 10 this year. So 2 out of nobody on, 4-1 Yolo, and now it's Smith with 2 out. And as I said, the base is empty, and he takes outside ball 1. 1 ball, no strike. Smith, he's 0 for 3. Outfield medium depth and straightaway. And the kick and the pitch, and that's inside for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes to Tanner Smith. I was talking about Smith, who yesterday about his Oregon Ducks going to the NCAA tournament, the 2-0, and that swung on, and that's fly to left field. And this is Ethan Smith, the left fielder, and he makes the catch. So 1 Smith flies out to the other. Tanner flies out to Ethan in left. 1 run, 1 hit. There was 1 error, and nobody left. We go to the 8th inning, 4-1. Yolo out in front over Grand Junction on YouTube Live. We have reached the 8th inning, a 4-1 Yolo lead over Grand Junction. Doug Greenwald with you on YouTube Live, and again we'll be on YouTube Live tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday, and then all the games from Oakland as well. I mentioned this before that Oakland has already announced they have sold out its first ever home game, and will be the opponent Tuesday night at Raimondi Park. Jeff Disla leads it off, and the first pitch on the way from Jacob Stobart is taken for a strike on the inside corner. No balls and a strike. Disla, and then the top of the Grand Junction order for the center fielder Fisher and Rios, 9-1-2. The windup and the 0-1 pitch, and that's bunted out in front of them, out off the hill to grab the ball on the grass as Stobart whirls around, and the lefty throws to Gonzalez at first, and Disla is out. 1 down on the bunt attempt. 1-3 on that play. And now for the 4th time this evening, or this afternoon. It's still considered this afternoon. We talked about this earlier. Any time a game starts prior to 5 o'clock, regardless of when it ends, but if it starts prior than 5 o'clock, it is considered a day game. So we're extending this afternoon into now tonight. So here's Lavoisier Fisher, top of the order, as I said, for Grand Junction for the 4 times. First pitch swinging, chopper to first, gloved by Gonzalez, and takes the ball easily to the bag for the unassisted out. Quickly 2 away. Fisher, he is now 0 for 4 today. Remember, it was Fisher who led off the series on Tuesday night with a home run, but comes up empty there. So quickly 2 out. Now it's Andres Rios who bats. 27-year-old San Diego product. He comes up. He is 0 for 2 with a walk. Stobart in those short white sleeves ready to go to face Rios. And the pitch on the way, and Stobart delivers a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Mentioned Stobart having played his college baseball in East Texas at Stephen F. Austin. No balls and 1 strike. And the pitch to Rios, and that's hit deep in the hole at short and past the diving shortstop Leday, and into left field, a base hit. So Rios is aboard for the 2nd time. He's now 1 for 3. 3rd hit for the Jackalopes, a 4-1 Yolo advantage. And now it's Drew Sackett who will come up. Saw that Stobart's alma mater in the world of ever-changing college athletics, Stephen F. Austin, they're going to be going into leaving the WAC and going back into the Southland Conference, where they were for many years prior. So Sackett digs in, 1 for 2 triple, and a run scored. Talking about players from the Phoenix area, but and I mentioned Stobart is one of them. Stobart went to Red Mountain High School in Phoenix, and then played junior college ball at Phoenix College for the Bears. 4-1 Yolo, and the pitch on the way to Sackett, slapped to shortstop, gloved by Leday, and he'll throw to Gonzalez at first, and Sackett is out. And Stobart, 2 shutout innings this afternoon, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man stranded on. We go to the bottom half of the 8th. Yolo 4 and Grand Junction 1 on YouTube Live. Moving along to the bottom half of inning number 8, 4 runs, 6 hits, and no errors for the Yolo High Wheelers. 1-3-2 for the Grand Junction Jackalopes. Only visit this season to Davis by Grand Junction. Yolo will visit Grand Junction in August. Sam Kaczynski leads it off, facing Connor Barton, who kicks and delivers, and the first pitch is taken for a strike on the outside corner. And the count is a no balls and 1 strike to Kaczynski. So Kaczynski, Gonzalez, Blackford, middle 3. No ball, 1 strike pitch, and that's fisted foul to the backstop, strike 2. And the count's a no balls and 2 strikes. Kaczynski, he's 0 for 2, a walk and a run scored. So 4 runs, 6 hits, and no errors for the High Wheelers. 1-3-2 for the Jackalopes. Barton, first base side of the rubber, delivers. Kaczynski takes high, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Kaczynski. Kaczynski has scored a run in now 5, at least 1 run in 5 of the 6 games so far for the High Wheelers. The windup in the 1-2, and he reaches for this one and flies it toward right center field. A long way for the center fielder, Fisher, who will get there moving far to his left to make the catch in the direction of right center. One out, and now it's Jose Gonzalez who comes up. He is perfect this afternoon. He's 2 for 2, a triple, a single, a walk, and a run scored. And a 4-1 lead for Yolo. Bottom half of the 8th inning. Some shade now in deep right field. That's generally starts out that way. Now the pitch on the way to Gonzalez, and that swung on and looped over the leaping shortstop Disla. And in the left field, a base hit. Gonzalez a big turnaround first. And he will stop there with a single. So he is now 3 for 3 this afternoon. He's been on base safely now 4 times. In fact, now 5 straight times he has reached base. Going back to yesterday, his last plate appearance was a double. So since the end of yesterday for him, it's been double, walk, triple, single, single. Now it's Blackford, who's 1 for 2, a walk, a single, and a run scored. And a 4-1 Yolo advantage. And the pitch upcoming to Blackford is high outside, ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and no strikes. I want to know the count with Banks on deck. And the pitch, and that's swung on by Blackford, and the pop-up foul to the left side. And the count is at 1 ball and 1 strike. Want to wish a happy birthday to a longtime friend of mine, a man who helped put in a word for me for this opportunity. Now one of the radio voices of the Oakland A's, now in his second year in that capacity. Johnny Dasco swinging a ground ball towards second to his left, Rios, and he'll flip to the pitcher Barton covering for the out. 4-1 on the play at first base. Gonzalez goes to second, and here is Banks, but Johnny Dasco for 21 seasons, or no, I think 22 seasons. Johnny for 22 seasons was the, I count the pandemic year because he would have been there anyway in 2020, but for 22 seasons, the radio play-by-play voice of the Sacramento River Cats, and then last year his first full-time major league opportunity, now with the Oakland Athletics. And pitch on the way is outside, ball 1-0, and of course Johnny knows general manager Troy Leparco from the River Cats, and Yolo GM now Troy Leparco and their association with the River Cats. But happy birthday to Johnny. I texted him early this morning our time. He was already midway through his game in St. Petersburg. The A's losing in 12 innings at the Rays today. 1 ball, no strikes. And the pitch, and that's outside 2-0. So I believe Johnny is 58. I'm going to guess and say he's 50. I think that's right. Somewhere right in that area. But happy birthday to a longtime friend of not just mine, but of so many, Johnny Dasco. The 2-0 to Banks, and that's lifted high to left field. Smith back, room in front of the track to his right, and the left fielder, Ethan Smith, hauls it in. 1 hit, 1 left. Last chance for Grand Junction. We go to the 9th inning. It is Yolo 4 and Grand Junction 1. You're listening to the Yolo High Wheelers on YouTube Live. Last chance for the Grand Junction Jackalopes as we go to the top of the ninth inning. It is 4-1 Yolo out in front, and Ty Buckner will come on and try and close this one. So Jacob Stobart today for Yolo, 2 shutout innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. So middle relief for the High Wheelers over the last 2 games has been pretty good. I say middle relief in general. I know we're not done with this game yet, but yesterday a total of 5 innings, only allowing a couple of runs for the bullpen, and so far today 2 shutout innings for the bullpen. So 2 runs over the last 7 bullpen innings for the High Wheelers, and Buckner trying to keep that streak going. Matt Turner leads it off, and Buckner's first pitch, and Turner takes a strike on the outside corner. 0-1. 4 runs, 7 hits, and no errors for Yolo. 1-3-2 for Grand Junction. Turner, Shoemaker, and Henderson, middle third of the order. Turner is 1 for 3 with an RBI single, and Buckner's pitch inside for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike from Buckner, who grew up near St. Louis. 25 years old, 6'1", 190 pounds, was at State College last year in the MLB Draft League, where his pitching coach was Jerome Williams. Of course, now Yolo pitching coach for Buckner, who deals in a swing and a miss of the slider. And the count's at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Buckner features a 4-seam fastball, a slider cutter, and a changeup. And a co-closer with yesterday's closer in Connor Langrell. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, high fastball in the outer half of the plate. Strike 3, and Turner is out, 1 away. And now it's Shoemaker who digs in. Yeah, Langrell, he ended up getting the save yesterday, and now obviously Buckner trying for the same thing here tonight. And now it's Shoemaker. He is 0 for 3. Buckner's second appearance of this series. Pitched the 9th inning here on Tuesday. Delivers, and the pitch to Shoemaker is a strike on the outside corner on 1. Buckner Tuesday night, 1 shutout inning, allowed a hit, no walks, and 1 strikeout. 4-1 Yolo, top half of the 9th inning. Shoemaker mentioned 0 for 3. Outfield around to the left. And Buckner from the high set kicks and delivers, and that's foul to the backstop. And the count's at no balls and 2 strikes from Buckner, who is in his first pro season. Buckner played his college baseball, both Missouri State and then also at Gonzaga. I haven't really talked about it, but here's a guy that's mentioned 25 years old, and you think, well, it's still his first pro year? Well, he's had some injury issues. He's had to miss a couple of seasons. One because of Tommy John surgery, and the other due to an Achilles issue. 0-2 pitch, slap past the mound towards second. Charged and gloved by Banks, a step to his right, and he'll throw to Gonzalez at first. And Shoemaker is out, 2 away. And now Grand Junction is down to its last out for the right fielder Damian Henderson. So again, tomorrow, finals Friday, 4:30 first pitch. Come to the ballpark. We'll give you an official Scantron sheet and a game day blue book in preparation of finals week. So now Henderson 0 for 2 with a walk. And Buckner kicks and delivers. And that pitch is tapped up along third. Foul, strike 1. And the count's at no balls and 1 strike. With Bathauer wetting on deck. Pitching matchup tomorrow night will be for Grand Junction, left-hander Brandon Ross. And then finally we get to see the right-hander Sean Gamelin for Grand Junction. Again, because of all the postponements last week due to the light issues, Gamelin obviously didn't get to pitch. So he will finally get the baseball tomorrow. And again, we'll have the feed for you on YouTube Live at roughly 4:20. No balls and 1 strike to count to Henderson, who I guess broke his bat. And we'll get back to the plate for Damian Henderson. Was with Ogden last year, 26 years old. from Raleigh, North Carolina originally. So no balls and 1 strike the count to Henderson. Outfield well around the left, big hole in right center. It's usually where they have shaded Henderson. And Buckner, again, first base side, kicks from the set, and the pitch, fastball, swing and miss, strike 2, 0-2. And now Grand Junction down to its last out. Pretty much the entire infield still in the sunlight. Very, very little shade on the infield. You can see the shadow of Buckner. And a little bit of a shade around first on the light pole. The 0-2 from a light pole. The 0-2 pitch inside, ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 the count to Henderson. Bathauer on deck, and Buckner would like to finish it right here. The kick on the 1-2. Just inside, ball 2. And the count's at 2-2. The High Wheelers are going to challenge. And it was confirmed a ball. That would have been an interesting way if that had been called a strike. That would have ended the ball game. But we keep going. So 2 balls and 2 strikes the count with 2 out from Ty Buckner. Sports a little handlebar blonde mustache, little curl at the end of each side of the stash. The kick on the 2-2. And that's off the plate, ball 3. So now 3 balls and 2 strikes. So 3-2 the count with 2 out. 4 runs, 7 hits, and no errors for the High Wheelers. 1-3-2 for the Jackalopes. The kick and the payoff, and that's fisted foul left side. We'll try it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3-2 the count as Buckner rubs up the new baseball from plate umpire Garrett Wells. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Yolo 4, Grand Junction 1. And the right fielder Kirby way off the line. And the 3-2 pitch, and Henderson swings and keeps the game alive on a foul to the backstop again. And the count remains at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes remains with 2 out. 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the High Wheelers. 1-3-2 for the Jackalopes. 3-2 the count. And again the payoff, and Henderson takes just off the plate, and that's ball 4. So Henderson able to work a walk. Second time he's walked. Second time he's been on base safely here this afternoon. That keeps the game going for Bathauer. Bathauer 0 for 1 with a walk. Right-handed batter. Bathauer again out of Adams State University in Colorado. And the pitch on the way, and that's a low liner to third, and that is caught by Kaczynski, and the ball game is over. And Yolo ends up winning this one this evening by a count of 4-1. So group of happy High Wheelers run in from the right field bullpen and the first base dugout. Bathauer finishes his afternoon 0 for 3 with a walk. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a runner left. Final score this afternoon, it was Yolo 4 and Grand Junction 1. I will be back with the final totals in just a moment. Final score this afternoon, it was Yolo 4 and Grand Junction 1. Here are the final totals. First for the victorious Yolo High Wheelers, who are now 4-2. 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors, and 6 left. For Grand Junction, who drops to 1-7. 1 run, 3 hits, 2 errors, and 6 left. Brandon McPherson now 1-0, the winner for Yolo in his High Wheeler debut. Ty Buckner, his first save as a professional. And the loss to Frank Reshopo of Grand Junction. He drops to 0-1. This game took 2 hours and 9 minutes here this afternoon. And again, without officially having any folks in the stands, the attendance today non-applicable. Well, in this one today, it was Frank Reshopo going for Grand Junction and Brandon McPherson going for Yolo. And again, McPherson, of course, was supposed to have started one of the games last week against Rocky Mountain, but because of all the postponements, that did not happen. Well, yesterday, you'll recall, Yolo got on the board with a run in the second, and today they got on the board with 3 runs in the second. The first 4 batters of the second inning walked. Third baseman Sam Kaczynski, the first baseman Jose Gonzalez, designated hitter Braden Blackford, and the second baseman Kirkland Banks all walked. Banks was an RBI walk, and that made it 1-0 Yolo. Then after that, it was right fielder Justin Kirby who delivered a single to right, or a single to left. That made it 2-0. And then catcher Angel Mendoza, a sacrifice fly to left to make it 3-0. The Jackalopes scored a run in the 4th inning. First baseman Drew Sackett led off with a triple, and then designated hitter Matt Turner followed with an RBI single to right. That made it 3-1 Yolo. In the 7th, against the second pitcher for Grand Junction, Connor Barton, Yolo added a run. Mendoza single to center, and then on a ground ball to first unassisted, Sackett, after touching first, tried to get the reverse double play at second, but threw the ball into left field, and that moved Mendoza to third. And then right after that, it was the top of the Yolo order for the 4th time, and the center fielder, Braylon Skinner, came up. It wasn't the top of the order, it was the second batter in the order. The shortstop, Bobby Leday, a sacrifice fly to left. That made it 4-1 Yolo, and that turned out to be the final score. Brandon McPherson, a great job as in his first appearance / start this season. 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 run earned, 4 walks. He struck out 6. 6 innings, the most by a High Wheeler this year, and the 6 strikeouts match J.C. Ariza for the most by a High Wheeler in the Young campaign. Jacob Stobart, 2 shutout innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, and then Ty Buckner, a scoreless 9th, 1 inning, no hits, no runs, a walk, and a strikeout for his first pro save. Frank Reshopo for Grand Junction, 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs all earned. He walked 5, struck out 2, and hit 2 batters. And then Connor Barton for the Jackalopes, 2 innings, 2 hits, 1 run not earned, no walks, and no strikeouts. So again, McPherson the winner, 1-0. Buckner his first High Wheeler save, and Reshopo the Grand Junction Jackalopes loss, and he is 0-1. Now it's time to set the scene for tomorrow. We'll be with you at about roughly 4:20 tomorrow, and again it'll be finals Friday. So official Scantron sheet giveaway and an in-game Blue Book prizes to get you ready for finals week. Pitching matchup tomorrow for Grand Junction. Left-hander Brandon Ross gets his second appearance since start of the season. He's 0-1, 6.43 RA, but that's only through 1 game. And right-hander Sean Gamelin, the only High Wheeler who we've yet to see play this season, the West Kingston, Rhode Island product, who was in the MLB Draft League last year with Williamsport. He will make his first start and appearance of the season, and his first pro appearance as well, and we look forward to having you join us. Again, a big thanks to Michael Sapel helping produce this one this afternoon. Big thanks to all you fans as well, and the Yolo High Wheeler staff. Third straight win in this series for Yolo. Final score today, it was Yolo 4 and Grand Junction 1. Doug Greenwald saying good afternoon from Davis.